Zone 14. As you can see, Doomsday passed, nothing happened, just like I knew, because the Bible makes it clear. We don't know what day, we don't know what time. Well, that's why I wasn't really worried. Nice to be with you again. I'd like to start off with a correction. Last video I said on Thursday we leave for home. First I said it was James Whitworth, and then I said it was Jack Warden. But I was wrong, I'm sorry. It was actually James Whitmore. The late, great James Whitmore. This time for sure. He was on Thursday we leave for home. I'd like to start off with the episode. Printer's Devil. It's an hour-long episode. It has a great, late great actor, Burgess Meredith. And he's been in 4 Twilightzone episodes. But this is the first time, the first one that he was ever a good guy. I mean a bad guy. The ultimate bad guy. He played the devil. So what happened was he meets this newspaper worker who works with his wife in the newspaper place. In the newspaper corporation also. And they're running broke, because the competition from another newspaper is really dominating. And they're about to sell it to the bank. I mean, there's almost nothing left. But anyway, what happens is, to make a long story short, when he goes near this restaurant that he's about to commit suicide, he is confronted by the devil. He doesn't know he's a devil, and he's confronted by him. He says he could save his newspaper because he's got an awful lot of money if he hires him as a linotype operator. So he does that. He does incredible work and really fast and everything. He doesn't understand why this old guy, he needs an advance to keep the business going. Why would this old guy, the stranger, come out of nowhere and do this for him? Well, he's going to find out that he's really Satan, and he's going to be making things happen from the newspaper, like tragedies. He knows ahead of time what's going to happen because he's making them happen. And they don't understand the other newspaper. How can that be when it's only like less than a half an hour before it actually happens? Something's up, and they're going to find out. But you got to find out. You got to see it. It's Printer's Devil. You got to see the whole thing to find out. It's an hour-long episode. Next, Jezebel. That's also hour-long in the 4th season. Now this one concerns the late great Anne Francis. You know her from the 1st season episode, The After Hours. Now she's a blonde. Over here she's wearing a black wig. Now she plays in the old farm days, in the old days, in the countryside. The old backwoods of the Blue Ridge Mountains, like Rod Sterling was saying. She's in love with this man who's in love with another woman. What happens is, during the episode, she tries to, just do whatever she can to get his attention. So the best thing she could do is confront this witch. She heard this lady that's a witch. See it, she could give her, actually make it magically so that he'll fall in love with her too. And it works. It works, but with a really, really high price. That at midnight, every midnight, she actually turns into a tiger, a leopard, actually. And we find out what's going on, will it ruin her life? What are the consequences? Jezebel. It also stars James Best, that's the man, the suit. So check it out. Uncle Simon is next. That's actually in the 5th season, the last season. This wasn't really good, but it did have the debut of Robbie the Robot, who you probably saw in Lost in Space. Anyhow, it's pretty good, but it concerns this lady that she's living with her uncle, and she's really abusive, when it comes to telling her off. He treats her really, really bad all the time. But she hangs tough. She stays there because she wants his inheritance when he eventually dies, because he's really getting up there in age. Now, when he finally dies, something interesting is going to happen with this particular robot. It's going to take over, so to speak. And you got to see what happens, because it's kind of a sad and crazy story, but really funny in a way. It's hard to take this episode seriously, even though it wasn't meant to be like that. Uncle Simon. Next, A World of Difference. Now this episode was pretty good. It starred Howard Duff, as a man who works a pretty ho-hum life. You know, he works in an office, and he's about to go on vacation soon with his wife. But the stress is really getting to him. And one day, when he picks up the phone in the office and it's not working, it's dead, you know. So when he turns around, before he turns around, he hears somebody yell, "Cut!" And he realizes he's actually on stage performing a performance. But how can that be? He doesn't remember any performance. He's just being himself. And all these people are calling him a name, somebody else's name, but he's actually somebody else, so he doesn't understand how that could be. He's trying to find his identity, in other words. So they go through a lot, you know, and they're trying to explain to him who he really is, but he doesn't believe it. So stick around to the end to find out who he really is. Is he who he says he is, or who the other people say he is on stage, you know? And is that really a character that he's playing? A World of Difference. Similar title, A World of His Own, stars Keenan Wynn, who happens to be Ed Wynn's real-life son. Now, Ed Wynn, of course, from One for the Angels. Now, Keenan Wynn also did a Christmas episode, you know, The Voice. So he's done a lot of different things, you know. And he was in Reckon for a Heavyweight, Rod Serling's baby, so to speak, before Twilightzone. But anyway, he plays a man that, it's a comedy episode. He has a dictating machine, and whatever name he says, he writes on a piece of paper. If he wants to get rid of that person, all he has to do is throw it in the fire, and that person will automatically disappear, you know. Now, this has something to do with his wife, because he's having marital problems, so to speak, you know. And his wife could have sworn she saw him having a drink with another woman. Now, what's going to happen with this? I won't tell you, but it's interesting, except for one thing. Rod Serling makes his debut, so to speak. You can finally see him. It's the very last episode of the first season. And there's a joke involved. When Rod Serling appears, he's going to say something, but it's a real-life joke. And it came out on camera. They wanted to do it because, you know, it was the last of the first season. After that, you see Rod Serling in every single episode until the very end. So, A World of His Own. Also, the last one, Stopover at a Quiet Town. This stars Nancy Malone as a wife, Barry Nelson as a husband. They wake up, you know. They're pretty happy in a way, but they wake up and they say, "What's going on here? This is not our place. It's not their house. Everything is different." You know, they try to figure it out, and everything they touch seems to be fake. You know, like the drawers, the telephone. Everything seems to be different and fake. When they go outside, there's nobody there. Nobody, not even one person, except them. You know, even when they go to church and ring a bell, ring the church bell. It's gotten crazy, and they don't know what it could possibly be. But they do hear the constant laughter, the distant laughter of a child, you know, of a little girl. Says, where is she coming from? So he tries to find her because they can't find anybody else. So what's going to happen? Stopover at a quiet town. What is the reason that they are completely alone in kind of a fake town, that they don't understand what's going on? Where are they and who are they? Because they're starting to doubt. So stop over at a quiet town, the very last season of the Twilightzone, the 5th. Okay, that's about it for now. Don't forget to tune in for the next Tony Zone. And until then, I would like to leave you with my favorite verse. My command is this, John 15:12. Love each other as I have loved you. For there is no one greater than this, he who lays his life down for his friend. Till next time, take care of yourself. Love the Lord because he loves you.